Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Good morning, Secretary Ed. Yes, the DILG recently released a baseline report. Last November lang ito. Yung baseline report, CSO, accreditation and membership in local government councils and special bodies. Now, kindly tell us yung extent ng civil society organizations membership and participation in local development councils. How well represented are they in our local development council deliberations?
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. May I ask you, Karingan, to answer the question, Mr. Chair?
Thank you.
Yusek, go ahead, please, sir.
Chair, as per the provisions of the local government code, the local development council should have CSO members, comprising not less than 1/4 of its total membership.
Sino nag-accredit nito?
The accreditation, Mr. Chair, is being done by the local Sanggunian. And per our memorandum circular issued in 2002, there are criteria to be followed. And there are documents that have to be submitted by the CSOs in order for the Sanggunian to duly assess the CSO before the accreditation is being given.
Thank you. In actual practice, how well represented are they in the LGC deliberations? Don't get me wrong, I've always emphasized the importance of citizens' participation. Hindi lang sa local level, even sa national level. In fact, I'm encouraging na sa mga committee hearings natin dito sa national level, meron tayong at least observers or even resource persons from the CSOs. I have always advocated for that. So ang tanong ko lang, in actual practice, are they really participating or actively participating?
Mr. Chair, based on the assessment being conducted by our field operating units, CSOs have always been participating in the meetings and deliberations of the local development councils. In fact, Mr. Chair, one of the criteria in the seal of good local governance is the functionality of the local development council, and some indicators would include not only the membership but also the participation during deliberations of the annual investment program and the local investment development programs of the local government units.
Yeah, especially in the planning and setting of priorities for the development projects at the local level. Importante, hindi po ba?
Yes, Mr. Chair. It's
Yeah,
very
I understand kasi yung ibang LGUs, ang reklamo nila, ang reason nila for not inviting CSOs, pampatagal lang daw. Have you encountered such comments or remarks from our local government units? Hindi na nila ini-encourage yung participation kasi nagtatagal lang daw yung deliberation, yung pag-prepare ng kanilang mga local development plans. So how do you connect these two concerns?
Sir, Mr. Chair, there are instances where that happens, Mr. Chair. But during those times, our field officers are being consulted by the civil society organization members so that they can properly have a dialogue and consultation with the local chief executive, Mr. Chair.
Yeah, yung study nyo rin, sinasabi out of 1,452 LGUs, nasa mga 87% lang ang rate of compliance. So how about those LGUs, the remaining 13% na hindi nag-comply? So wala man lang participation ng walang citizens participation?
Mr. Chair, during the assessment of the seal of good local governance, there is always an exit conference being conducted, and whenever it comes out in evaluation or assessment that there are no participation of civil society organizations in the local development council, this is always being given as a feedback to the local officials, particularly the local chief executives, Mr. Chair.
Yeah, thank you.
Thank
I'd like to pursue yung questions raised by Senator Amy kanina. Yung National Budget Memorandum number 138, ano? This is pursuant do sa EO 138, no? Ang sinasabi rito, in line with the implementation of full devolution, concerned government agencies should refrain from including in their proposals funding for devolved local projects for LGUs belonging to the first to fourth income classifications, ano? So, ang tanong ko is, what types of local projects and programs will be affected by NB Memo number 138? Which projects and programs that were lodged under the national government agencies in the past years will not be funded with budgets from the national agencies in line with the implementation of the Mandanas ruling?
Mr. Chair, the programs and projects that are covered by the National Budget Memorandum 138 are those PPAs listed in Section 17 of the Local Government Code. Those programs and projects and functions that are being devolved to the local government units. No? National government agencies, Mr. Chair, will all start downscaling the implementation of projects, and the LGUs will start upscaling the implementation of these devolved functions and services, Mr. Chair.
And this will be done in phases, no? I understand.
Yes, sir, Mr. Chair.
Yeah. Yung real problems na nanggagaling sa ground, ano, yung talagang yung actual experience, no? We've talked to some LGU officials. Ang concern nila particularly sa HPEP, ano. We're funding the Congress is funding HPEP, Health Facilities Enhancement Program. Ang problema, yung pondo, while the district hospitals are located in the LGUs, ano, in the different provinces, yung pondo ng HPEP nando sa DOH. So, bakante or kulang yung facilities or even unmanned yung mga district hospitals, hindi nakakapag-service. Because DOH, sometimes there is slow in downloading or even procuring equipment for the district hospitals. So, hindi talaga nakakapag-service yung sabihin natin, serbisyong totoo doon sa mga constituents. Sometimes, inaasa ng DOH, even at the regional level, na gumalaw yung mga LGUs. And sometimes, yung LGUs, kung wala namang wherewithal to, finance the facilities of their district hospitals, wala, hindi nagagamit tuloy. So, why don't we just, in the, para ma-comply yung devolution, diba, Mr. Chairman, ano, and I think Congress can play a role here. Instead of course, we can lodge the budget for HPEP sa DOH, pero dapat earmark na natin na i-devolve na nila yung pondo sa mga local government units. Sila na yung mag-implement, sila na yung mag-procure ng mga facilities para doon sa ating mga district hospitals and even provincial hospitals. Kasi nangyayari ngayon, ang laki ng unused appropriation sa DOH dahil nga hindi naman sila nagpo-procure for district hospitals.
I think it's a good idea, Your Honor, especially also like the school building program. Malaki rin ang unutilized, and I think the locals are faster at spending that money. So I think that's something we should look into, and maybe our local government chair is here. Perhaps we need to revisit the local government code, because health and social welfare are two of the devolved functions, along
Totally
with
agree, Mr. Chairman. I totally agree.
agricultural extension, and yet they are some of the biggest national budgets. So yun ang irony, Your Honors, no?
Yes, I think for the 2022 budget, we should itemize and even earmark already funds for the HPEP and even personnel that will man the district hospitals, kasi kulang na kulang doon sa mga ibang mga provinces, especially the poorer provinces. No? Nakatiwangwang
Yes, I
yung
agree with
ating
that.
mga district hospitals. Yeah.
It's a good idea, Your
based
Honor.
on
We can work on that, Your Honor.
Yeah, thank you, sir. based on the BLGF data sa 2019, yung IRA accounted for 76% of the total operating income of municipalities, 41% for cities, 78% for provinces. For all LGUs, yung dependence on IRA na magnify, comprising a high of 62% of their total incomes now. Now, my question is, can you tell us the impact of the Mandanas-Garcia ruling on IRA dependency of LGUs at different levels?
Mr. Chair, can you please repeat the question, Mr. Chair?
Yeah. Yung impact
Ulit po
ng
yung tanong,
Mandanas
Senator
ruling
Ping.
on IRA dependency. Kasi maraming mga LGUs, IRA dependent. So yung Mandanas ruling, anong impact nito sa IRA dependency ng LGUs? At different levels, provinces, municipalities, cities, and even barangays.
Mr. Chair, previous to the implementation of the Mandanas ruling, majority of our local government units are already IRA dependent. So much more now that their national tax allocation share will increase. It is aggravated by the pandemic, Mr. Chair, where practically our economy came to a standstill. So local income of the LGUs definitely will decrease, Mr. Chair. Thank you.
Yes. And since yung, di ba, yung NTA, computed ito based on the national tax collections 3 years back, di ba? So have you considered the impact of the low tax collections for the year that was in 2020 and even 2021 in relation to the NTA shares that the LGUs will be entitled to receive by 2023 and onward, 2024? Kasi bagsak yung collection, even yung local revenue collections, pati yung national, talagang bagsak. So, have you considered that? Doon sa implementation, yung phase implementation, sana naka-input ito doon sa phase implementation ng Mandanas ruling.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. In fact po, kasama doon sa aming capacity building ng mga LGUs in compliance to the Mandanas ruling ay yung teaching the LGUs also on revenue generating measures para hindi naman sila masyadong dependent sa IRA. And of course, secondly, this transition period, we will really make sure that the LGUs would receive the needed capacity building. Of course, there are at different levels. So we will be, kumbaga po, hindi siya general solution learning, kundi based on the need of the LGU, Mr. Chair.
Nabanggit niyo yung capacity building, How active is the local government academy in this regard? Kasi to capacitate municipalities, especially malalayo, baka kailangan i-activate natin yung local government academy para yung mga planning officers magkaroon ng opportunity to really on their own plan for the development programs of their localities.
Thank you, Mr. Chair.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. Indeed, Mr. Chair, our local government academy and all our field operating units, Mr. Chair, are now actively engaged in capacity development activities for our local government units. We mentioned the rollout for the formulation of the evolution transition plan. This is now being carried out in all provinces, cities, and municipalities in the whole country to help our local government units come up with the devolution transition plan. And at the same time, EO 138 provides that LGA will harmonize all the capacity development interventions, not only of the DILG, but also of other national government agencies and other institutions in order to help enhance the capability of our local government units transition to the full devolution in 2022. Indeed, Mr. Chair, LGA is spearheading the effort to further capacitate or to provide a capacity building interventions for our local government units.
Mr. Chair, one of the plans of LGA is to put up a satellite training venue in Mindanao to really cater to our municipalities, I mean to our LGUs in Mindanao. We believe that learning should be brought nearest to the stakeholders, Mr. Chair.
Correct. In fact, you must also pursue partnership with the DAP, ano? Kasi remember yung sa Yolanda, one of our legacy projects there, yung although it was funded by the USA, ano, 162 scholars, ano, took up masteral courses, mostly on development, ano, community development, and they graduated. So they're back now in their municipalities with a master's degree. But they have a contract with their LGUs to stay there for a certain period para yung serbisyo nila pakinabangan doon. So not only the LGA but also pursue postgraduate studies in cooperation with the Development Academy of the Philippines. Now, moving on, Mr. Chairman, yung PNP, meron silang tinatawag na Safe Philippines Project, ano. At sabi rito, which will upgrade the capability of authorities to reduce criminality and improve traffic management. Now, about 3 months ago, o noong 25 June 2021, nag-launch sila itong program named Global Coalition of Lingkod Bayan, Advocacy Support Groups, and Force Multipliers. So what exactly is the aim of this program? Maybe PNP can answer.
Yeah, General Elazar is here.
Sir, Mr. Chairman. Yes, sir. Actually, sir, this is the effort of the PNP that we've been doing for the past, even before, since time immemorial, sir. Sir, actually, ito sir yung ating mobilizing the different groups to help us acting as our force multiplier. Wala sir itong pagkakaiba dun sa ating mga effort na ginagawa to gain the support of the people by getting their support to us. It so happened that in doing so, these particular groups nagkakaroon sir ng engagement with them so that we can get their support and they will continue their engagement in the concern that could help us in the maintenance of peace and order.
Thank you. You know, last time I heard, ang PNP is a territorial force. Ang ina-address nito yung internal threats, especially criminality. But why Global Coalition of Likod Bayan, Advocacy Support Groups, and Force Multipliers? Bakit kailangan natin ng force multiplier global?
Yes, Mr. Chair. Sir,
Bakit
actually,
global? Internal threats tayo. Mukhang OFWs yung target dito. Well, I'll be very frank, ano? Pampolitika ito ng community relations, hindi ba? Kasi yung director for PCR nyo, kakandidato yung asawa niya sa party list. Now, my question is, how is it funded under the PNP budget? Kasi Global Coalition of Lingkod Bayan, Advocacy Support Groups, and Force Multipliers. Hahanap ka ng force multipliers sa Dubai, sa Saudi Arabia, sa Hong Kong. What gives?
yes, Mr. Chair. Sir, because of the deployment of our police attaché in the different countries and
Because
region, we are also providing assistance to them. So, parang yung terms, sir, ginamit lang so that we can have engagement with the OFWs and their families so that we can assist them. But I would like to assure Mr. Chair, the members of the Senate and the people that this activity, this effort of the PNP to engage with the public will not be used for political purposes, sir. And that I will assure this body, sir.
Your assurance is good, but the nomenclature itself suggests otherwise. Kasi eto, coalition, therefore there'll be membership. Ang tanong ko rito is, does joining the coalition entail automatic membership? Kasi force multipliers, global. So naghahanap kayo ng mga members sa mga areas na maraming OFWs. So how can they help enhance the program or the anti-criminality campaign ng PNP that is supposed to be to address only internal threats? Hindi ko ma-reconcile.
Mr. Chair? Mr. Chair?
Yes, Senator Bato. Go ahead, Vice Chair
Senator Bato, kindly help me out.
With the permission of
Yes,
Senator
yes,
Bato.
please.
Sir,
Please, please.
yeah, I just would like to give an input on this. This program started during my time, and the purpose of the objective of this program was, as explained to me by General Sermonia, who was then my director of PCRG, is that PCRG being very much engaged with the people here dito sa atin sa local. Ang pinaka problema na nakikita nila is sila ang tinatawagan palagi ng mga marinig ba ako, Mr. Chair?
Yes, yes, we can hear you, Senator Bato.
Yung PCRG ay tinatawagan palagi ng mga OFWs regarding their concerns sa problema ng kanilang mga pamilya dito sa Pilipinas. Lalo lang yung uminit yung ating kampanya sa drugs. Sila palagi tinatawagan ng OFWs na yung mga anak nila na naiwan dito sa Pilipinas ay nahuhook sa droga, humihingi ng tulong para masikaso yung pamilya nila dito sa Pilipinas. So that started the advocacy ng PCRG na tulungan yung mga OFWs nila through their dito sa mga naiwan lang pamilya sa Pilipinas. At lumaki na ito ng lumaki, pati na rin yung mga may problema na OFWs doon sa abroad, tumatawag dito sa Pilipinas na nagpapatulong na may kaso daw sila. So na-utilize na rin ng PNP yung ating mga police attaché doon kung meron man para rin mag-assist doon sa kanila. Of course, in coordination with the DFA. So, yun po ang simula nung programa na yan, Mr. Chair, Your Honor, Senator Lacson, sir.
Kaya
Thank
pala
you, Mr.
nag-number 1 ka, Senator Bato, sa OFWs eh. Mukhang
No.
mukhang may kasamang bulong yun. Mukhang may kasamang bulong yun.
Mr. Chairman, with
Ganito yan. Excuse me, Your Honor, Senator Binay. Siguro, totoo yun, nag-number 1 ako sa OFWs, but not really because of that program, but because itong mga OFW talaga, pinaka-concern nila, na while they're away, nasa abroad sila, naiwan yung pamilya nila dito, na problema sila sa droga, sa kanilang mga pamilya.
Yes.
So talagang nagustuhan nila yung ginawa natin na war on drugs. So siguro, yun ang dahilan, pero hindi dito sa programa na ito, ha? Thank you, Mr.
Yes.
Chairman.
No, I agree. Tama. Senator Ping will give you back the floor, sir. Thank you.
Just
Mr.
on the
Chairman.
record, I have nothing against Senator De La Rosa landing number 1 among the OFW voters. In fact, I welcome it na nandito dalawa kaming former Chief PNP. Now, tatlong Chief PNP nag-uusap dito, Mr. Chairman. Two former and one incumbent. And one former is not convinced. Alam nyo, ganito na lang, palitan natin yung nomenclature para hindi masyadong obvious. Alisin na natin yung global coalition. Sabihin nyo na lang, lingkod bayan, advocacy support groups, and force multiplier. So internal. Kasi nakakatawag pansin dito, global coalition. So, and alam nyo, project ito ni Director Sermonia. No? Magaling yan, magaling talaga sa organization, sa organizing yan. Pero wag natin gawing obvious, especially kung magkano ang pondo nito. I'm not planning to scrap, Tatanong ko lang magkano pondo.
Mr. Chairman, may I butt in, Mr. Chair?
Yes, like Ed.
Go ahead,
Yes,
sir. Go ahead, sir.
I'd like to assure Senator Pinlacson that we have already actually looked into this matter. In fact, I made Police Director Sermonia and the GPNP report to me because now that, well, we know that election time is coming and there might be some misinterpretation. There might be some, what you call that, unofficial activities, and there might be also this chance that members of this force multiplier might be used for political purposes. So for this matter, we lay down the rules and we, together with the GMP, we caution and gave warning that this force multiplier should not be used in any election-related activities. And as part of that, there was actually a sort of revamp, and Police Director Sermonia is now already with is now the Director for Operations. And he has nothing to do now with the PCR and PCRG. And we also gave instruction to the new head, Police Bustamante, Police Brigadier General Bustamante, to take charge of the projects and see to it that there will be no attribution to any election activities or any political partisan activities, Mr. Chair. So you can be assured of that, Mr. Chair.
Mr.
Very
Chairman.
rash. Yes.
With the
I yield to
permission of Senator
Nancy.
Ping.
Yes. Yeah.
Hindi kasi Mr. Chairman, di ba we're in the middle of deliberation dun sa DOFIL. Baka I think this function was overlooked by our chairman, Senator Villanueva, na meron pa palang isang ahensya na
Yeah.
may function that deals with our OFW. So baka there's a need to inform that committee na baka kailangan ding ilipat itong function na ito ng PNP. Yan lang po, Mr. Chairman. And i-reiterate ko lang yung tanong ni Senator Ping kung magkano ho yung budget.
Yeah, good point. Can we get the answer on the budget, Sec Anyo, for that item?
May I ask the Chief Philippine National Police to answer the question regarding the budget?
Mr. Chair, with regard to
Yes, General Lazar, could we get the amount, please?
Sir, particular activity, wala naman sir specific budget for that because that it is included already in our efforts of engaging with the public. So actually sir, yung buong LCAC fund namin for the whole year, for all the activities, amounts to 1.084 billion pesos, and that is distributed to all the units of the PNP, not particularly on that aspect of organization and mobilization of that Lingkod Bayan advocacy support groups. So itong budget na yun, sir, is para dun sa 12 clusters distributed on different 12 clusters as part of our contribution to the LCAC-related activities.
If with the indulgence of our members, I just want to follow up, General. Saan tatawag yung OFW kung naka-distribute yung budget across the country? Saan siya tatawag?
On the mobilization organization of Lingkod Bayan advocacy support groups, we have identified at least 10 groups. Meron sa rin yung para sa mga women only. There are also for the youth or itong kabataan kontra droga and terorismo, LGBTQI, and in-include natin sa OFW. In fact, meron tayong foreign national keepers group. Ito sa rin yung mga foreign nationals na dito natin sa Philippines that we have organized so that they could help us dun sa kanilang mga concern nila at saka yung mga concern din natin. So basically, dun sa OFW, wala naman sir particular budget na nakaalat particular for that. Una sir, wala naman tayong travel para puntahan sila. But the police attaches na merong separate budget, kagaya ng sinabi sa Senator Bato, sila sir yung ating conduit or link dun sa ating mga OFWs so that their concerns of their families here in the Philippines could be taken care of with the establishment of our help desk in the police attaché abroad, as well as the help desk in the different police stations that we have here in the Philippines.
Ilan po yung police attaché natin worldwide, General?
Sir, eight, do you have, ano? Nine police attachés, 9 posts at the different places outside the country, sir.
Okay, thank you. Senator Ping, you have the floor again. Senator Bato is raising his hand.
I will
With your
wrap up.
indulgence, Senator Ping.
I will wrap up already, no, with this
Go ahead, sir.
question. On a personal note, no, the reason why I raised this issue, alam nyo, when I question yung propriety ng creation itong lingkod bayan na ito, no, you know what I got? I got attacked, no, yung opisina ni Yusek Loren Badoy, yung Strategic Communication Cluster, no, sa NTFL CAP's official Facebook, Twitter accounts. Tandaan ko pa Monday afternoon, no, September 20. Yung quotes were attributed to their ex-NPA cadre, Jeffrey, Eric Cadiz, ano. Talagang binanatan ako ng todo. So, kung hindi politika ito, I don't know what is, because anyway, tinake down kaagad nila because siguro somebody advised them na wag yung gamitin niya. Yun na naman, Mr. Chairman, di ba? I had been defending the budget of NTFL CAP
Yes.
for quite number of years, ano? And then when I started questioning lang yung propriety ng creating of the creation of the global coalition,
Freeze yata si Sen Ping. Parang scene ito, pag exciting, nag-freeze, ano? Next ka na, idol ba to? After Sen Ping, pero
Tayo lang natin, sir.
siguro, antayin natin ng konti. Pero baka may questions kayo in the meantime, you can ask.
Ganito lang yung aking kwan, Mr. Chairman, if I may. Yung sayang wala sa linya si Sir Ping. Kasi gusto ko lang rin sana i-impress na kung kini-question niya yung parang extraterritoriality ng function ng PNP, actually it is not. Although nasa abroad sila, yung mga OFW, but still they are Filipinos. And we cannot just simply neglect kung tatawag sila sa PCRG na magpapatulong. Mga Pilipino yan eh. Kaya kinikita pa rin natin yung concerns nila. But we are not performing, the PNP is not performing extraterritorial functions. Nangyari lang na, sir, hindi na pala Sir Ping.
Go ahead, Ronald. Sa'yo
Sir,
na yung floor. Tapos na ako.